Welcome everybody to another great episode of Brutally Honest. I am your host, Stichs, NBC, and today we are talking about the skeleton key of happiness. You know, last week I was actually talking about self-love and self-worth, so this topic actually goes in hand with that. What is the skeleton key of happiness? Now, we all know what a skeleton key is, right? It's a master key. It's a key that can open any lock or any doors, specifically to that vicinity or area where they actually produce the skeleton key at, right? That's what a skeleton key is. So when I'm saying, what is the skeleton key of happiness, what is it that I'm trying to get at? You know, like, what is it, that one main thing that makes us all happy? That's what I'm asking you guys. Because I asked this question on my social media, and over 100 people was telling me different things. Yes, some of them was very similar. You know, they would say, oh, their kids' well-being. They would say financial freedom. You know, they would say their health, they would say their well-being, they would say spending the time with their family and things like that. That's what they would tell me. And the great thing about that is that there is no wrong answer. Everybody has a different key of happiness. We all have different things that puts a smile on our faces, you know. But what I want to know is if you know that those keys are already in your pocket. Because the main issue that we have is that we try to search everybody else for their keys. What is it that makes you happy? Wow, maybe that would make me happy. Maybe, and maybe not. That's what I'm trying to get at. As far as find your own key of happiness. What is it that makes you happy, really? That's what I'm asking you guys. Thank everybody for tuning in. So, as far as the skeleton key of happiness, you know, what's that one thing, in my opinion, that I feel that we can apply in our personal lives to receive that happiness, to receive that joy, to receive that better quality of life, you know, to receive that always having that smile on our faces, to not let the little things bother us, to continue moving forward in our lives, especially when we're feeling down, especially when we're going through that struggle, especially when we're going through those hardships. I say we because I'm included too. You know, unfortunately, I am human. I know humans do suck. But what is the skeleton key? In my opinion, is this: appreciation and gratitude. Yes, they go hand in hand. And I know that a lot of people feel like those are probably the same thing, appreciation and gratitude, right? It's probably the same thing. And they're actually very close. They are very close. I'm not going to lie about that. But there is a difference in the vibration as far as what we feel towards those words. I know a lot of times that we use those words interchangeably as far as, you know, oh, I'm grateful for this, or I appreciate that, and things like that. But what's the main difference between appreciation and gratitude? Now, I said the skeleton key of happiness, right? So there should only be one. So if I were to choose appreciation or gratitude, which one am I leaning more towards? I'm going to choose appreciation over gratitude if I had to choose one or the other, because that's already, you know, it has to be both. Appreciation and gratitude has to be a balance of both. But what's the main difference on it? You know, before we continue the show, we have to have a clear understanding and be on the same page as far as the information that I'm putting out there, you know, because I am trying to influence others. So let's just define what gratitude is. And by definition, in the literal sense, by definition, gratitude is thanks and appreciation. When you feel gratitude, you're pleased by what someone did for you and also pleased by the results. That's what gratitude is, right? But when we use the word gratitude, it's usually attached to something that we've gone through, something that we've overcame. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm grateful for the job that I have now. When I say that, it's like having a certain resentment towards the jobs that I had before, even if it's just a little bit. And I do mean it is just a little bit. And yeah, we are nitpicking right now, right? As far as appreciation and gratitude, right? But when you're grateful for something, it's attached to something in your past. I'm grateful for the girl that I have, because the girls that you used to have. I'm grateful for the man in my life, because you've been through it with dealing with losers, right? So we're grateful for that. So what's appreciation? Appreciation, by definition, right? It's recognition and enjoyment of the good qualities of someone or something, and adding value to what is. That's key. Adding value to what is. That's what appreciation is. Appreciation is in the moment. I appreciate this. I appreciate having enough hours for work so I can pay the mortgage and make sure my kids are well off in school and things like that. I appreciate these things. So the main difference between gratitude and appreciation is that appreciation is on a higher vibration scale as far as what you feel towards it. Appreciation goes in line. It's the same vibration. It's the same feeling as love. When you're in love, you're in tune with yourself. You're in tune with who you are. You're in tune with your source, with you, who you are. That's the same thing as appreciation. You could walk down the street with somebody, and you can appreciate certain things that person probably would never even see in their lives. That's what appreciation is. When somebody does little things. Like when it's just little things, when it's just a good morning and you're having a bad day and no one's been reaching out and somebody decides to just text you a good morning, you appreciate that. You adding more value to what it is. You appreciate that. You appreciate yourself. That's the main difference between gratitude and appreciation. What is the skeleton key of happiness? It is gratitude and appreciation. And if I had to choose one of those two, it's going to be appreciation. The thing about appreciation is that it depends on our perception. It depends on the perspective of our lives. For example, me personally, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, East New York. So I'm used to being around a diverse culture. Chinese, Jews, Spanish, black, white. I'm used to that. I'm used to being, growing up in a hostile environment where there's drugs, where there's gang wars, where there's always fights and gun violence. I grew up in that, I grew up in that. So if I grew up in that, I'm going to say I grew up with these glasses, right? Let's call these glasses the glasses of perception, right? So I grew up with these glasses. So no matter where I go, I'm in Florida now, so I can go to Pine Hills and I'm not going to get nervous. I can go to the slums of anywhere and I'm going to probably feel just at home. I'm going to be able to understand these people, but this is the glasses that I grew up. This is how I view the world. But let's take these glasses off and let me try to view the world as if I grew up in a nice neighborhood where violence was never an issue, where everybody knew each other as far as, the cops and things like that. Not how everybody knew each other because it's on the block, right? But I'm talking about everybody is cool. It's weird when a crime does happen in that area. Let's say I grew up in one of those areas, right? Now, you could take that same person back to Brooklyn or to one of these slums and stuff, and now they're going to get nervous. Now they're clutching their purse. Now they're tucking in their chain. Now they're walking a certain way. Now they're more careful about what colors they wear and things like that. It's all about perception. So when you grow up in a good area and things like that, and you see at the hood, your view of the hood is completely different than my view of the hood. And what I mean about perception is that how you view things is going to determine how grateful and how appreciative you are to the situation, issues that you're going through at that particular moment. A lot of times we need to take ourselves out of the picture and try to view things in the bigger picture. Try to view things with a different glasses of perception. Try to view things differently. We all got different backgrounds. We all grew up differently. Exactly what I'm saying. What's the keys of happiness? And everybody's telling me a different reason of kids and money and everybody. And who am I to tell them you're wrong? Who am I to tell them you don't know what you're talking about? Who am I to tell you that doesn't make me happy, couldn't make you happy? That's ignorant, and that things like that doesn't even make sense to me. You can't be discrediting somebody if you're asking them the question, what makes you happy? And they're telling you food. And now you're over here trying to get at them like, what do you mean, fool? Though that's a dumb answer and things like that. Like, no, like that's how they view things. Like that's their life, that's their perception. So we all see the world differently, you know. So let's say you go to a restaurant, and this falls in line with appreciation, right? And you go to a restaurant and you go through the menu, and there's only one thing that you like. Everything else you're probably allergic to. You don't like it. It's not your taste, or you're not even in the mood for. Now you have a choice. That's the beautiful thing about this, is you have a choice. As far as one, you can just leave. That's number one. Or two, you can appreciate that at least they have that one thing on the menu. You feel me? And I'm using that analogy as far for us to apply that in our lives. You know, when we're going through tough times, when we're going through those rough days and things like that, let's try to think about the important things. You know, it's like, you know, I be at work and I see a lot of the different trades out there, and sometimes we talk and things like that. And some guy, he was telling me that, oh man, you know, it sucks. It's always raining. I'm stressed and all this, and it's a long day. I mean, look at this house and all this and all that. And I'm like, and I'm looking at my time, and it's only 7 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, you know what, bro? Don't worry about it. 5 o'clock is right around the corner. And he's like, 5 o'clock is right around the corner. I just got here. I was like, yeah. But no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how much you complain, 5 o'clock is still going to come around the corner. You're going to be able to punch out. You're going to be able to leave work, and you're going to be able to go home and leave all that stress at work. Try to think about that. Try to think about your nice home-cooked meal that's waiting for you when you get home after a long day at work. Try to think about the smiles on your kids' faces when you walk in. Try to think about that loving wife or that loving husband that's thinking about you and caring about you and hoping that you are having a good day. You know? So, and the issue that a lot of us do, and I've done this a lot of my times, it's like we take our issues from our work life and we bring it into the house. As if our kids have an issue with that. As if our partners have a reason to put up with that. So I'm having a bad day. I'm having a tough time. Oh, I'm not getting along with the boss, with the supers, or whatever it is. Whatever it is. It was just a rough day, a rough Monday. It was supposed to be Friday. It was supposed to be a good day. Now I'm taking that stress, anger, and frustration, and I'm carrying it over throughout the whole weekend. Or I'm carrying it over throughout the whole week. And who's suffering? Who's the one dealing with it besides ourselves? Our families. And do our families deserve that? To the people that have actually nothing to do with it, deserve that? Now you're walking into the house and you're pissed off, and now your wife or your husband says like, hey babe, how you doing? And now, oh, don't talk to me. I don't even want to talk about it. And now you're taking it out on them. And now the whole energy completely changes in that house. The whole energy completely switches in that room. Everything was good. She or he was in a good mood. And as soon as you walked in, they felt the stress. Now they feel stressed too. They don't even work construction. And now they feel like they got their hands and feet dirty now. Because of the energy that you brought into this world, into their lives. Let's be honest about that. Energy is a real key component, and I'm saying this as a fellow empath. And by energy, I mean empath. Like, you know, I feel energies. It's completely different from an intuition. You know, it's completely different from that. But it's like, you know, you can meet somebody, and it doesn't matter if they're, you know, if I'm meeting a girl. It doesn't matter if she's my type or not. If the energy is not right, then it ain't right. And maybe we could be friends or whatever, but it's going to go off of energy. Energy is a real thing. When you wake up in the morning, appreciate that you woke up. You know, be grateful. Like, okay, like for example, I had a bad day today. I had a long day today. Stressful day today. And I'm being serious. This was me today. Literally today on Tuesday, I was having a hard, rough day. And what did I think about? I was thinking about this. Wait a minute. I used to have a tougher job, working longer hours, and getting paid less. Why am I complaining so hard now? It's okay to complain. It's all right to complain, but just don't overdo it. Because with complaining, you know, you can find out the things by finding out what you don't want, it's going to leave you with things that you do want. So it's okay to find out, to complain about things that you don't like and all this and all that, because it'll open your eyes to what it is that you do want. But just don't be nagging and annoying and try to put your complaints or misery, which is completely different, on somebody else. That's what I mean by energy. So when, so I'm thinking about this, like, wait a minute, I'm in a better position now than I was 2, 3, 5 years ago. Why am I complaining about this? Like, no, I should be good. I should be thankful. I should be grateful, and I should be appreciative that, wow, at least I got employment. At least I'm able to put money in my pockets. At least I'm able to make sure my kids are good and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I'm able to work Monday through Friday and enjoy my weekend. The issue is that we see people and all we see is the glory, as I mentioned last week, but we don't see the struggle. We don't see the process. And it's so much beauty in the process, because after it's done, it's done. I'll give you guys another analogy, metaphor, but it's a true story. So my son, he's 7 and he loves Legos. So he wanted a Lego. He wants the Avengers, whatever it is. It's over 100,000 pieces. I don't even know. I'm still counting. You know what I'm saying? But he likes Legos, whatever. So, hey, Dad, I want this and all that and all that. So I got it for him. Hey, Dad, I want you to build it with me. All right, cool. Let's build it together. So we build a Lego and we're having fun. Hey, that piece don't go there. Or you're so silly and all this. And we're having a good time. Right? We're having a good time with this one and with the process. And then after it's all done, after it's all complete, we go and put the piece up on the shelf, or we put it somewhere. We crazy glue it, make sure it doesn't mess us up, and then that's it. It stays there. It stays there. It's done and it's over with. What do I have from that? Memories. At the end of it all, at the end of the day, the only thing that we truly own is our memories. And we should actually value that. As far as our memories, it's like all we have is memories. So when I'm looking at the Starship Command, whatever, I'm just being funny, but whatever it is, when I'm looking at it, I'm not looking at just the finished product. I'm looking at the time that it took to create it, the bonding time that I had with my son. Let me have those memories. Let me feed off that energy, that positive energy, and let me carry it along with me. We all have great memories with our kids, with our babies. Nothing lasts forever. They're not going to be babies. They're not going to be kids. They're not going to even be teens forever. They're going to grow up. They're going to be they're going to be adults, and they're going to have their own lives. What do we have from that? And it's like, I know it's hard as a parent. I know it's hard. Like, my daughter's about to be 14. My son's about to be 8. But my daughter, she's a teenager now. And I'm over here thinking like, wow, I miss my daughter. I miss when she was just a baby. I miss when she didn't know so much, when she was asking me for those answers, right? Like, it's natural for us to feel sad about it. Like, man, I miss those times. I wish I could have those times again. You can't. If there's no way of going back unless you close your eyes and do it in your head and reminisce and start thinking about those good times. So this falls in line, and it's not to the extremity of loss of death. A lot of us a lot of us have dealt with death in our families, death with our loved ones and things like that. And somebody hit me up last week. I'm not gonna mention the names like that, but she was like, she's dealing with coping the loss of her husband. Things that I said last week actually affected her. So this is why I'm taking this little segment to really reach out to all of those that are going through that, all of those that are sad, that are that they don't even know how to go through their day without hearing their partner's voice anymore. Like, it used to be so simple to text and they'll respond. It used to be so simple to holler at them and they'll pick up and they're always there and things like that. And now you don't even have that anymore, especially if it was your loved one, especially if it was your husband, your wife, whatever, your kids, whatever it is. And it's like we go to that moment and we feel sad and we feel blue. What can we do about it? There's really nothing we can do about it as far as moving forward. We can't bring them back. We can't bring those times back. But what we can do is reminisce and think about all the great times that you did have. We can actually feed off of that. So if you're going through a hard time with a loss of your family member, Let it be your husband, your wife, whatever it is. It's natural to feel sad. It's natural to feel down. But you have a power. You have a choice to make, which is you could continue thinking about them not being around anymore, or you could be appreciative, grateful, and thankful to have those memories that you can still feed off of. I miss my daughter every single day. My daughter's still in New York. I miss her every single day. There's not a second that I don't miss her. You feel me? And I do feel sad a lot of times. But I start thinking like, wow. I start thinking when she was a baby, and I start thinking when she's, laughing and dancing and recording with me in the studio and things like that. And look at my face, and I start, I'm surprised I'm not tearing right now, right? But I start looking, and I'm like, it's great times, and I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm appreciative that at least I had those times with her. At least okay, if it's not that, so let's say it's your kids that they're just growing up, right? And you still have them around and things like that. But wow, you could still have those times that you can appreciate when they was little. We can appreciate when they had to hold your hand to cross the street. When you could appreciate when they ask you, hey mom, hey dad, can I get this? Can I get that? I want this toy. Or can I have this bubble gum? We miss those times. We should be appreciative of that. We even had those times moving forward. Now let's talk about the present. Now they're all grown up and things like that. Okay, enjoy the process because nothing lasts forever. I asked my son, I actually asked him this last week, and I asked him, hey, Mike, if I were to die, what's one thing that you will always remember that I always tell you? What's one thing? And he was like, to always do your best. And in my mind, I'm like, well, first of all, I can't believe you listened. And number two, it's like, I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a good job. He's being receptive to the information that I am delivering to him, So that's what I'm talking about. That like we have to be appreciative and grateful for things like that. Now, one thing that you can't do is, being that I have these glasses of perception, these are my glasses, right? Now, I can't change your glasses of perception. I can't do that. There's no way. But what I can do is I can lend you mine and be like, here, try to see things from my way. Try to see things from my point of view. And the thing about that is that you can try to open people's minds, and you could talk in a certain strategic way to open it. But a lot of people are ignorant. A lot of people, they don't even want to take advice. A lot of people really do feel like they already know it all. They already know what you do, and they don't need to take no criticism from nobody. I got this. I'm good, right? So I was chilling with some couple of people a few days ago. People I just met. Whatever. So we chilling and we vibing. And I heard one of the dudes was like, he was complaining about his job, and he was saying like, yeah, because they over here telling me how to do my job, and I should do it like this and I should do it like that. And I was a cook longer than them. They just been at that company longer and all this and all that. And I'm hearing. So like myself, I butt in because I feel like, wow, I could drop some gems here. So I'm like, you know what? I used to go through the same thing, man. And it was annoying, especially when you know what you're doing, right? And now you over here got to take advice from people that they probably just started and things like that. Now they're acting like you know better. But what's the choice that you got? You got two choices. One of them is you could actually you got three choices. One of them is you could confront them, and now you're going to cause that shit. Two is you can ignore them, and now you're going to have to continue dealing with them. Or three, this is my favorite. This is number three. You can change their perspective on things. I'm not going to mention no names and things like that, but this is actually a history fact. There was a famous sculpture. It could have been Michelangelo, things like that. It was a famous sculptor and painter and things like that. Now, he was contracted by a king, and he wanted a certain statue built. So the professional artist, renowned, worldwide, popular, famous, he knows what he's doing. So he constructed this the sculpture of whatever it was, and the king would go up to check him when he's done, and he's like, oh, the nose is crooked. Now the artist knows well enough that it's not crooked. It's just the way he's looking at it and things like that. So what did he do? He could have argued with him. He could have been like, no, it's my whatever, right? This is what he did. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna see what I can do. Stay right there. He got on the ladder. He went up, and he just dusted some of the dust off from the sculpture's nose. That's all he did. He just dusted. That was it. And he was like, how does it look now? Wow, it looks perfect now. He didn't even do anything. So by that story, I'm saying, like, a lot of times we can be, going towards people because a lot of times they don't even see things the way we see them. A lot of times what we need to do is be strategic and try to change their minds. Because let's be honest, we're already stressed out enough in our own personal lives to continue to add to that stress. Press 1 if y'all watching this live, 2 if it's a replay, 3 if you shared the live while I'm live, and then you will be eligible to receive a free t-shirt exclusively from Brutally Honest. So, the great thing about this is that we have a choice. We was all born into our families. We had no choice to choose who our brothers and sisters and our parents and who our cousins are. We have no choice of that. We had no power at all. But you know what we do have power of? To choose who we want in our lives. We have the power. We have the choice to choose our friends. So if you're going through times and your family is not supportive and things like that, hey, I'm a firm believer that, blood only makes you related. Loyalty makes you family. The people that are really there, that are always there, those are the ones that you really do consider brothers or sisters, regardless of the upbringing, regardless of the history, regardless if y'all related or not. We treat certain people like family. And what's sad is that sometimes we treat our friends more like our brothers and sisters than our actual brothers and sisters. And that's the reason why. Because of the support system. It's not no hate or anything like that. It's all personal. One of the main 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz is don't take anything personal. Don't make assumptions. So how can we keep a smile on our face? There's a couple of things, right? We could do every morning, or every night, or every afternoon. I think we should all try this. No matter, whatever fits best for your schedule. We should do this. List 5 things that you are grateful and appreciative and thankful for. Just 5 things. Just 5 things. If you do this in the morning, you can carry this throughout your day. If you do this in the midday, whatever it is, whatever your schedule is, I think we should all do this. Even if it's just on a voice note, you don't have to write it down, whatever it is, but just remind yourself. Seriously, remind yourself. And if you don't want to do this every single day, okay, I understand it is a little tedious. I'm busy too. I understand that. So this is what I do. I go put an alarm on the label. On the label of the alarm, I put the 5 things that I'm thankful for, and I have that alarm repeat throughout the whole week, either at nighttime or as my morning alarm. So when I'm waking up, right before I hit the snooze, we all know we hit the snooze a few times before we actually get up. I'm seeing this, and I'm thankful that my kids are good. I'm thankful that I have a loving family. I'm thankful that I have a job to go to. I'm thankful that I'm not struggling how I used to be. And all this and all that. And we can carry this. And if you're going to do it at nighttime, you don't got to do it like me. You guys do it however you guys want to do it. But if you're going to do this at nighttime, then you're going to wake up in a better mood. That's what I think. Now, very simple. Skeleton key of happiness is appreciation and gratitude. We spoke about that today, right? Now, don't focus so much on the things that you can't control. If you can't control, then you can't control. You're powerless towards it. But a couple of things that you can't control goes like at your attitude. You can control your attitude. You can control your network. You can control your physique. You can control your gratitude habits and your perspective. You have control of all of these things. Now, the question of the night, have you or anyone that you know or anyone that you've ever come across with ever dealt with addiction? Addiction is a real thing. And in my opinion, I don't believe that addiction only falls in line with drugs. I do feel that everything in life can be an addiction. It could be sex. It could be money. It could be women. It could be hitting the gym. Anything can be an addiction. And I want to open people's mind as far as not every addiction is a bad. But the gem of that, I'm going to be talking about the ambition killer. I know y'all really gonna like that. Next week, I will be back at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, exclusively on Brutally Honest Unfiltered, to talk about addiction and the ambition killer. I just want to say that I love you guys all. Thank you all for tuning in. If you guys feel like sharing it. If you guys feel like anything that I said, you don't got to tag them or anything like that. If you just want to repeat what I said to them, then that's fine. I'm not doing this for the views. I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this to fulfill my purpose in life, which is to be of service to others. And I'm doing this so I can fulfill my dream. And I hope and I wish that all of you guys know that you guys can do the same thing, no matter what your dream is. If you like to bake, bake. I don't care how hard your job is and things like that. Don't focus your life so much on making somebody else rich, on fulfilling somebody else's dreams, and then you're dead, you're in the cemetery with those unfulfilled dreams and unfulfilled goals, because at the end of the day, only you have yourself to blame, and only you will continue holding on to those regrets. God bless y'all. I love you guys all. Make sure to tune in next week. If y'all want a shirt, hit me up. A way to win the shirt is to share the video while I'm live. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I am Stichs NBC, which is Nothing But Classics, and this has been another great episode of Brutally Honest. Thank you guys all.